Mastering Law of Attraction through Lucid Dreaming.
Hi, I'm Brandon Shaw, co-CEO of Down to Earth Productions and Comedy, and this is step 4 on how to master Law of Attraction through Lucid Dreaming. Now, this is the most difficult step to overcome out of all the steps. And the reason why is because you have to learn how to get rid of conditioned beliefs. I know people watching this is very difficult because a lot of things we've been conditioned to believe, it helps us overcome a lot of things in our life. But it still seems like a lot of people haven't got the fulfillment that they want out of life. And in order to get to lucid dreaming and astral projections, this is very important. And I'm going to explain why this is very important and getting rid of your conditioned beliefs. Because you got to understand where those beliefs came from in the first place. You see, a lot of things we believe, we were conditioned when we were kids. And when we were kids, we didn't have that conscious developed fully. So everything was all about subconscious. So whether it was Santa Claus, God, Jesus, Allah, or any type of religion or ideology or anything like that for that nature, we just accepted it because our parents or our people around us gave those beliefs, and we started to believe those. And when we got older, we never asked ourselves, why did I believe that, or why do I believe this? Because of that, it's so hard to change because you have made it a habit. Like I said in step 2, it's about the subconscious. The subconscious mind is a multitude of habits. So you made that habit so strong that trying to change it, it feels like it's impossible to do. But it causes stagnation. Now, when y'all what learning is about, and when you want to learn things, you have to be open-minded. So when you're watching this lecture right here, be open-minded, okay? I know I'm going to get criticized for a lot of things. I'm going to be called a lot of names because of this. But the ones who want to go beyond this, step 4, who want to master law of attraction through lucid dreaming, this is what you got to do. And I'm going to give you guys some examples. Like, for example, Santa Claus. Now, we know as kids we celebrate Christmas and, we believe in Santa. Now, we all know the history of Santa Claus. Santa Claus on December 25th, he goes to everybody's roof. He rides reindeers. He brings presents. He goes down the chimney, puts presents under the tree. Eat the milk and cookies, and he gets out. Now, our parents have us believe in that. As a kid, we ain't questioning that because we see it on TV. We see it in books. They teach it in school. And what ended up happening? When you get a little older, you realize, oh, Santa never even existed at all. Now, to even think about why does a kid believe that? Because the kid hasn't got enough experience yet because they're still fully developing, just like your conscious. Your conscious mind ain't there yet. So you start to develop your conscious mind around between the ages of 7 and 9. That's when you start to question things. That's when you start to get into your own identity. And then the older you get, you start to have your own perspectives in life. So, and it might cause a lot of rift because a lot of times people believe things and they stop believing it, and you can lose friends and family. But like I said before, this is your life. This is your body. These are your choices in life. I'm going to draw the brain real quick, for example. This is the left side. This is the right side. The left side of your brain deals with logic. Your right side deals with creativity. This is very important right here. And so a lot of things we've been conditioned to believe, they can cause a stagnation where we can't move, and now we're limiting our thinking. If we're limiting our thinking, we'll be limiting our learning. And if we're limiting our learning, we'd be closed-minded to things. Left hemisphere logic. I'm going to use God, Jesus, and the devil for prime example. Now, using logic, because there's a lot of things that are misinterpreted with a lot of these ideologies. You have to know where the origins came from. And ask yourself, where was I first introduced into God? Where was I first introduced into Jesus Christ? Everybody gonna know it's when you were a kid. You hear all the good Bible stories. And the Bible is a very good book. But you need to know that the Bible is a fictional stories that teaches about human behavior in the universe. This is not a debate session. That's just what it is. If you read through the book, you will see that. But we take these things and we personify them as if these things really happen. Because as a kid, no one told you. Just like Santa Claus. See, we were told that Santa Claus wasn't real. But no one told you that God, Jesus, and the devil are just only in your mind. These are ideologies. And these ideologies, you gotta know where the origins came from. Because the same people who came with those ideologies, beliefs, and concepts, guess what? They had a heart and a mind like you. They need sunlight just like you. They need nutrients just like you and water. So what happens is, when you say things like, God, can you bless me? And they use God as he's be a male. But you cut off your part of your logic. Like when Jesus was born. Now, I ain't trying to get too much on religion, but I'm going to get to the point I'm trying to make. So, a lot of us were conditioned to believe Jesus was born through a Virgin Mary. No male. But we know using our logic, that's impossible. It takes a man and a female to make an offspring. We know that logically. But because of that habit, that belief, you cut off this part of your brain. It uses the logic. And now you go to this creativity side. Now, when we were kids, especially those who know the English language, they taught us what? We were taught ABCs. 26 letters. They all make different sounds. When you combine those sounds, what do? They make a word. So you put these sounds together, you get cat. Now when you put certain words together, they're called sentences. And with every sentence, you have a subject and a predicate. A subject are concrete, your predicates are abstract. This also has a tie-in with duality. You can't serve two masters. You love one and you despise the other. And this physical reality is all about duality. You can't do two things at the once. It's either one or the other. So we're going to break down this with concrete, abstract. This is a question that a lot of people who are into Christianity, Muslim, or a lot of other religions, and I always ask them this: is God concrete or is God abstract? When you ask an individual that question, they will cut their part of their brain and things logical, because they've been conditioned through the habit of subconscious mind to believe that God's the creator of all these things. God created the moon, the stars, the waters. Jesus walked on water. They believe all these things. But ask yourself, is God concrete or is he abstract? Is Jesus concrete or is Jesus abstract? See, one thing that religion does, it doesn't make you hold yourself accountable. You need to take credit for the things that you do. Take credit for the choices that you make. Like I said in step 3, but stop using obligation communication. I choose, I choose, I choose. No one's making you do anything. You are making the choice to do that. Now, getting rid of conditioned beliefs, because conditioned beliefs, they will affect how you lucid dream. Because when you're in a dream, you have that limitation, and now you won't get the full aspect of how to master the law of attraction. So, once again, I ask you, is God concrete or abstract? If you cannot answer that question, you're just lying to yourself. Stop doing that. You need to use both sides of your brain, the left and the right. But when you use it all the time. You know, if I told somebody, hey, what's up, Johnny? How you doing? Who am I talking to? Johnny not there. So when you pray to God and you say, well, God answer my prayers. Well, can you hear God? Can you see God? Can you taste God? Can you smell God? And can you feel God? If you can't do these things, then God isn't concrete. Therefore, He's abstract. So if that's the case, why are you putting abstract concepts and giving them physical senses? See, that causes a confusion. You have to use both hemispheres of your brain. Use both of them. God is abstract. The devil is abstract. Allah is abstract. These are facts. These are not lies. Because I'm using my logical side of my brain. Now anybody else, see, they cut it off. And they'll tell you, nah, Brandon, that ain't what's real. Are you the devil and things like that? You're going to burn in hell. Are you an atheist? I'm just a human being. I'm a living organism. But they get so offended because of that, because they made it a habit. And for so long, they believed it. In order to let it go, it's like, oh, I got to give that up. And it's funny because in the Bible, it teaches you these things that I'm telling you right now. In the New Testament, Jesus Christ. These are fictional stories, by the way. He told the man, man gave Jesus, I did this, I did that, and God said, well, give up all your worldly possessions. The man couldn't do it. And those were physical things. So you can imagine the mental things that would be really hard to give up. But if you want to be open-minded, if you want to master law of attraction, because you can attract anything that comes to your life without even budging. And the lucid dream is like the practice field of that, because it's going to strengthen your visualization, utilizing your imagination. You create mental images. You have to know these things. So by getting rid of your conditioned beliefs, you have to pretty much do your own psychology. You have to go back. So now you go back and question these things, because you have to be honest with yourself. You have to ask yourself, am I being honest with myself? Because if you're still caught up on these religions and a lot of other things you've been conditioned to believe, you're not being honest with yourself. It will reflect in your dreams. And this is why it's going to be so hard to have that control in your dreams, because of this limitation, because that's what you're placing. Because like I said, things manifest quickly in a lucid dream. Things manifest slowly in physical reality. So you have to let go of your conditioned beliefs to make it to these other steps to get to the dream. Because there's no way that I can teach you how to even get into the lucid dream if you're still holding on to these conditioned beliefs. Because it's going to keep you stagnant. And then you're going to have a hard time trying to figure out, well, Brandon, I still can't dream. I'm trying my hardest to do a lucid dream, because you have to let go. You have to know that your brain, you can put anything inside your mind. It is yours, just like everybody else. All these ideologies, all these beliefs, all these concepts, they came from a human being. We all get our same source for the same place. The sun in the sky gives us the energy. That same energy, we all know, well, I can't assume that we all know, but you have to know how photosynthesis works. That's how plants and things get their energy. And what we do, we eat the plants. That's why people are on a vegan diet, an alkaline diet, because they want that energy. Because you get energy, energized, you can be in a lucid dream longer. So we putting the wrong things in our bodies, and all these things we've been conditioned to believe, it causes us to move slowly in an already physical reality where things manifest slowly. And then not only that, you put yourself in fear. And fear is the biggest mental illness. What are you afraid of? Everything that you see out here is going on in your mind. Believe it or not, that's what's happening. You are attracting that to you. It's things I'm still attracted to myself, but I don't know how I got there, but you can avoid it. You can maneuver around it. Because I know who I really am, because I'm using both sides of my brain now. Logic and imagination have to work hand in hand. You have to get rid of your conditioned beliefs in order to do that. But it's going to start with you changing your subconscious habits. So, Brandon, okay, man, so you're telling me not to believe in God no more, so I must believe the devil? No, we're not saying that. Question things. That's what makes a person wise. Just like in the Bible. How did Jesus Christ represents truth? He's a symbol for truth. And how did the wise man find the Bible? How did the wise man find Jesus Christ? Found the truth. Looking at the North Star. You know another way for saying wise? W-I-S-E. Wise. Ask questions. You have to question the things around you to get a better understanding. You can't always believe what you see. You can't believe what you read. Even the things that I'm telling you, you don't have to believe this. But I guarantee you, if you apply these principles, you won't be having no stress and you won't be angry. You won't have all these hardships that you bring in your way. Because what I said, step 1, the moral inventory. There's some negative and positives. Empowerment. Step 2, control your emotions. Control where your energy and emotion going there. More empowerment. Stop using the obligation communication. More empowerment. Now I'm teaching you guys about getting rid of your conditioned beliefs. Create your own beliefs. You have imagination. Create. You're using somebody else's creation without knowing the origin. You don't know what was on that human's mind. You don't know what motivated them to do that. You didn't know the source. And these ideologies are like thousands and thousands of years ago. We live in a different reality now. And it's going to forever be changing. But people are being in fear. Prime example like this government shutdown. Everybody's panicking and things like that. But I'm sitting here relaxed and calm. This is physical reality. Cause and effect. Every action going to have a reaction. Good and bad. Up and down. Concrete and abstract. But going back to what I was saying. Wise men. They knew the truth because of the stars. The North Star. That's what they follow. The only star in the sky that doesn't move. You know if that North Star taught us how to use our logic. Because we pointed at it. And then we realized that, okay, let me point another star. And guess what happens? Moves like a clock. Observe the stars in the sky. Don't just read zodiac signs and things like that when you haven't utilized your own eyes to go out there and see it. This taught us navigation, math, just by pointing to the North Star. That's the truth. That makes a lot of sense, don't it? But because of your conditioned beliefs, you disregard that. And now you're not getting all the knowledge. That knowledge is unlimited. But like I said before, Jesus Christ represents the symbol of truth. And the wise men, they question. So when you question things, you will find that truth. Another part about the Bible with Jesus Christ. Jesus was in the middle. Jesus represents truth. When Jesus got crucified on the cross, there was a man on the left side and a man on the right side. Represent lies. I'm just going to put a cross right here. You see this? The subconscious mind only can read images. The Bible is full all about allegory and imagery. Jesus Christ is a symbol for truth. The man on the left side of lies. Let me ask you a question. Do you know who the people were? Do you know their names? Do you know the names of the person who's on the left side or right side of Jesus? You don't. It's like lies. Lies are easily forgotten. People are still talking about Jesus though. Because the truth is never forgotten. It's that powerful. It's so powerful to the point that people don't like the truth and what they did to Jesus. They killed him. They crucified him. They beat him. And what did Jesus do? Jesus wasn't yelling. He wasn't crying. This is a fictional story, by the way. The author, a human being, wrote it this way for a reason. To let you know the power of truth. Because when you have this truth, Anything is possible. There are no fears. There's nothing holding you back. You are doing this to yourself. And once you know the truth of that, you don't have to be sad no more. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to have all these hardships. You will learn to let go. You have to let go. Your body's designed like that. Look at my body. I'm breathing. Let go. Even when you meditate, I'm going to chant the meditation hue. I inhale through my nose for 2 seconds. Let go, Brandon. Hue. See how long that exhale was? Now you try to do that for 10 minutes with your eyes closed. And then wake up. Your body gonna feel whole different. Because we holding on to things. It weighs us down. And those conditioned beliefs, they weigh us down because we're limiting our learning. As kids, they don't even teach us about dreams. We have no clue what they are. And we can Google and go online to find out what they are. But you have to ask yourself, why is this not being taught? This is the unlimited reality we're dealing with. All the things that you feel like you ain't doing here in the physical, you can create it out there. It's so peaceful. The things that I do in my lucid dreams every day. Oh my God, this I don't have no issues. I don't have no problems. You know what I'm saying? But it's also taught me how to read things and analyze. Truth. I'm going to tell one more story using the Bible. Of Moses. Now, if you know the story of Moses was Hebrew, right? He was in a royal family. Moses found out the truth. And what did Moses do? Moses did something that a lot of us will never do. Moses had to give up all the things that were associated with that lie. He went back to being a slave. He was living in the fortresses. Moses had a high title. But because he found out who he truly was, he knew that all the lies I have to get rid of because that's not who I am. It's the same thing you have to do. Get rid of your conditioned beliefs. And what did Moses end up doing? He freed his people. He had that power. God was messing with him. Because he had that power. See, he split the sea in half. All these people cry. Let my people go. You know how difficult that was? Going to the Pharaoh and asking them, hey, let my people go. He felt safe, confident. Because that God they talking about, that God is in you. That's the unlimited source. God is not outside of you. Also inside. But when you start to put God as these concrete, because God has no gender. When you do that in a concrete form, remember we're dealing with duality. Now you're taking yourself out the equation. Now you believe there's more power outside than in. And once again, your brain has this friction. This creates a lot of problems. Like I said before, religion. Religion is a real sickness to the physical body, to your mental, because it keeps you closed-minded and limited in your thinking. Stop being afraid. Let go of the things you've been conditioned to believe. It is weighing you down by how you want to move. In the unlimited reality of lucid dreaming, you can create anything you want. If you want money, if you want women, if you want, just your imagination. You're in your imagination, basically. Nothing but 100% peace. And because you got all this energy, You can be asleep for 20 minutes and be in a dream that feels like a week. So by the time you wake up, now you get to see why people they're miserable. They got all these issues, all these problems. Because they don't know how to tap into that God form. You the God. You're just in the physical form. It's like what Jesus was. You're physically. Now, don't get it twisted, because I'm not saying that you're God to the point where you're limited right now. Because all your ideologies came from a human mind. It all starts in the mind. It begins in the mind. Sin begins in the mind. It happens here first. Then we play it out here in the physical. And it manifests slowly. There's things coming your way that you can't even imagine because of your negative attitudes. Your negativity. You're bringing this to yourself. And things manifest slowly in this physical reality. So in order to master the law of attraction through lucid dreaming, you need to learn how to get rid of the things you've been conditioned to believe. And how to do that is you have to ask questions. You have to question things. Like I said with the wise man, that were wise, that was asking questions. Why is this? Why is that? That's how we learn how to use all the body movements that we're doing now. Mathematics, navigation, science. Yeah, our logic then came so vast. I have a 6-year-old daughter. And I told my daughter, when I was 6 years old, we didn't have cell phones where we can use our fingers to swipe the screen, to take pictures, to take selfies. We didn't have that. I asked my daughter, where do you think that came from, Katie? She said, Daddy, I don't know. It came from the mind. It started in the mind first. Then someone manifested it into physical reality. This board, this pen, this time wearing, it didn't always used to be here. You're the creator. Start creating. Because if you don't create in a physical reality, you deal with duality. Now you're being destructive. You're either going to create or you're going to destroy. You can create positive things. You can destroy positive things. You can create negative things. You can destroy negative things. The choice is yours. And when you want to get to mastering law of attraction and lucid dreaming, and once again, I'm not trying to attack anyone's religion, because once you know these things, you can always come back and put it there. But you need to know that you're the one putting that there. Because in your mind, you can create anything that helps you move smoothly in a physical reality. But you need to learn that difference between something concrete and abstract. And now, if you can't honestly answer this question, is God concrete or is he abstract? If you say things like, well, God's neither, he's a spiritual being and he created that, but you're using words in a sentence to talk about that. Using the English language. Ask yourself that, is God concrete or abstract? God is abstract, by the way, not concrete. So get in the habit of stop using gender on any God for that matter. This ain't just the Christianity. These a lot of these religious beliefs, because you need to know where the origins of these ideologies came from and what they're being utilized for. Know yourself first. In order to do that, reading a book is not going to get it there. Listening to people not going to get it there. You have to analyze yourself. Start looking at your hands. Feel your face. Question things. Why do I have lines in my hands? Then you go out here and study those things. Do some real research, not just go on Google and, oh, well, this person said this and that's what's true. No, that's not what real research is. Scientific method is real research. We've been conditioned to believe all type of things. We've been conditioned to believe the world is round, the world is flat, and Jesus is my Savior. But then when you ask per person, can you prove these things? They go off of belief. And then they go off the belief so strong that it stops their left side of their brain. I call it the shift. When this shift happens, you can easily get manipulated because you're cutting your part of half of the brain off. You're cutting the logic off. Goodbye. Get out of here. A person who's using their logic can see that. This is why a lot of people can pretend to be somebody that they're not. They can arouse your emotions, make you discard your better judgment because of that shift. Because as soon as I mention God or Jesus, because I'm using God and Jesus because I know that the Bible is the most popular religion in America, from my experience. You got to know the shift. Because this shift is occurring, it's a hypnosis. It's like you're being hypnotized. Because as soon as you hear those key words, they trigger something in your brain to cut off your logic. And you need your logic to question things. I tell people, I can't stress this enough. Question things. People, I got people coming to me telling me who I am. They tell me things like, I'm you lost tribe of Judah. You're a Hebrew Israelite. I'm this, I'm that. These are all titles. Unravel them titles. These are all titles. Even in the Bible, it teaches that. When God wanted to anoint another king, when Saul messed up, he wanted David to be a king. So he sent the messenger to go find who's going to be the new king. And that messenger told God, like, I think it's David's brother because he's cocky, he's physical, he's strong, he looks good. And God said, no. I don't look at physical appearance like you. David's the one I want. I'm not like you humans. I look at attentions and behavior. When God said he's not like human-minded, meaning that you're in the physical, he ain't being limited. I know I'm using God as he, but what I'm really saying is that the God is in you, the God is in her, the God is in him. This is not one thing. It's all of it. Because when you can tap into these abilities to know how to travel through the unlimited reality, the physical reality, and the state of nothingness. These are things I'm going to be teaching later on. But right now, this is why it's so important to get rid of your conditioned beliefs. Why? Because you did not create a lot of those beliefs that you believe in. Those concepts, those ideologies. You didn't create them. And since you didn't create them, you're going off somebody else's creation when you have a brain that can create your own to make you move in life. The problem is because of fear. Your fear of people going to reject me. They're going to think I'm crazy. They're going to call me weird. So what? People are going to do and behave however they want to. Same thing with Jesus Christ. If they call him, look what they did to him. And Jesus Christ didn't do anything to nobody. And what did people do? They still beat him up, tortured them, nailed him on the cross. So what does that tell you? What does that story tell you? What it tells me is that human behavior will not like the truth. Because that's how powerful the truth is. You can't control what people do. They're going to do that anyway. You can either avoid it or you can confront it. So step 4 of how to master law of attraction through lucid dreaming is get rid of condition, beliefs. And like I said earlier, it's going to be real challenging. But once you overcome that hump, it's going to be so exhilarating. It's going to feel like a weight you get off your chest. They got a big monkey off your back. Because you got the power. You got the creativity. It's all inside you. Find yourself. Please find yourself. Get rid of conditioned beliefs. You have a brain. Just like them same people who got you believing what you believe in, they have a mind too. Because there's a time and place that those ideologies, those beliefs, those concepts, they did not exist. They came from a human mind. You're human. I'm human. Everything you see, physical objects, well, concrete, by the way, they all came from the human mind. Trees didn't come from a human mind. The sun didn't. The sky didn't. The stars did not. Animals didn't. Human beings are the ones that can manifest things in the unlimited reality into the limited reality. Animals don't have this gift. You won't see a lion make a TV. A lion's not going to make a street. We as humans use our logic. We're the creators, people. Start creating. And I'm out. Peace. Step 5 coming out next Wednesday. Hope you enjoy this lecture.
Mastering Law of Attraction, the Lucid Dream.